Well, guys, never thought I'd say it, but my days are numbered. Yep. Hey, guys, Keith here. Appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Yeah, my days are numbered. I guess it comes down to it. All of our days are numbered to an extent, but I say to an extent they're all numbered. Period. But um, I'm talking about my days till I'm 60. I'm turning 60 this Saturday. This is Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 more days of being 59. So my days are numbered as being a 59-year-old, good-looking, handsome, awesome personality fella, kind of, thing. And I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, yeah, I'm not kidding about my days being numbered till I'm 60, but about all that other stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's crazy to think that I'm almost 60, and I'm glad that I'm turning 60 in that I'm, glad that I'm turning 60. Some people don't get to turn 60, unfortunately, and so, it's not 40, it's not 50, it's 60. And to think about, I remember when my grandma was 60, and she thought she was, every year she would tell me, yeah, I may not be here next Christmas, you know. And she lived to be 90, 91, I think, actually, 91, yeah. So anyway, but she was always every year, and she was in her early to mid 60s when I was, young and stuff. Uh, but yeah, it's a little weird, I guess, to think about. I mean, what I always do is my birthday's in August, and so but in January of the year I'm going to turn, whatever, in this case 60. I just start thinking of myself as that age, and that way it I don't know, it's a little easier, I guess, maybe. And I've never really had a problem with my age. Like, I don't get depressed because I'm, getting older. I'm, like I said, I'm glad I'm getting older. I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad I'm here. Um, I don't really think about it because I feel good. I mean, I really do. I mean, yeah, my blood pressure's a little high and my cholesterol's a little high and everything like that. So some of you ladies hearing this, if you're like, oh boy, it's, I've seen some of the comments, some guys just looking for a nurse and a purse, and yeah. So we get older, we need more medication, we're, things are getting higher that we didn't want to. We like to get a high score on stuff, and we get like to get a, we like their bank account to get higher and all that stuff, but blood pressure and cholesterol, not so much. But unfortunately, it just goes with the territory. It goes with getting older, And so, like I say, it's good that we're getting older. I'm glad that I'm getting older. And so, I'm not knocking being almost 60. I'm just glad I'm here. I'm glad that, to be a part of this world and be a part of the U.S. and be here and where I'm at, and just my kids, and just, I don't know, just a lot of things. I have tons of things to be thankful for, so I'm very grateful for that. I guess the biggest thing is I don't know what to do for my birthday. I got 5 days, and I don't know what to do. I mean, there's just there's a ball game, the first ball game in Tennessee, actually, and ever, because it's at a NASCAR track. It's not at a baseball. There's no baseball fields in Tennessee as far as major league, and there's never been a major league baseball team or a baseball game in Tennessee. This is the first one. It's on my birthday, and I can still get tickets. I think there it's pretty full up. I can get some cheap seats, $20 some. But I don't know, and then I could pay $300 to $500 and get really good, like, inside seats, air conditioned. But I don't know. I mean, it seems silly to pay for seats, air conditioned at a ball game, because it seems like ball games ought to be outside, right? And they are outside, but it seems like you ought to be sitting out there with everybody. But it's been pretty hot here, and so it's just thinking of all that, but thinking of all the people too. It's like I love people, but man, crowds are, whew, you get I don't know how many people that thing holds, but it's full. I mean, there's not very many seats left. So I thought about doing that, not necessarily just for my birthday, just because it's a cool thing. I love baseball and everything, but I don't know. Uh, thinking about maybe just going to antique malls. Not that I need to, as you can probably see from behind me, my collectibles and some of my collectibles anyway. It's out of hand. I'll be honest with you. I'm a borderline hoarder, except I try to stay organized. So, that's the only difference between me and hoarders is I'm more organized maybe than they are. In some areas, some areas I'm not so much. But anyway, I don't know what to do for my 60th. What to really top it off, And some of y'all that's turning 60 or have turned 60, did you do something big for your birthday, or did you just it was just another day? I feel like I say I feel great. I did mention I think in one video I had a shoulder injury, a car wreck a couple months ago, and so I've got to have some supposed to have shoulder surgery, and it's better than it was. There's no doubt, but I do have a torn rotator cuff, and so kind of dealing with that. But that's because of the car wreck, not because of my age. And like I say, just mainly as far as how I feel great. I mean, I really do. I feel good. I could, just I don't feel bad at all for my age. And I used to think 60 was just, that was it, buddy. You got 60, man. You ain't got too many days left. Your days are numbered for sure. But now that I'm here, it's like, oh, it's not that bad, really, And so anyway, we've talked a lot about dating and, at our age, and it does, it gets complicated. Being alone is good and bad. It's kind of, and we get set in our way. So some part of it's nice because we kind of get to do what we want to. Right now, tonight, I'm listening to some music. Been listening to Joan Jett. I got the Joan Jett vinyl. It's a new one at Walmart. It's the Red Cherry Bomb was one of her songs. So it's a cherry red vinyl. And then I listened to Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits. And it's the green vinyl because the album cover was green, so it's the green Walmart version of it too. So listen to that, and so kind of stepping back in time to when I was younger, and the music that I grew up on and that kind of thing. Of course, I grew up on country music. I play obviously the cowboy hat. I play guitar and play a lot of country music, but I love to listen to rock and roll and old classic rock stuff. So it's kind of what I've been doing tonight. And anyway, just like I say, trying to figure out what is there something? Should I do something big for my 60th? Because it's a big number, any of those, 30, 40, 50, 60. Seems like you ought to do something big, but I don't know what to do. I really don't. I mean, I don't have anything I really want to do. I guess that's kind of the bad thing about turning 60, or for me anyway, is I don't know what to do. I don't know what would make me happy, what would really be like, man, that would be the thing right there, maybe playing on stage with Alan Jackson or something, like that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Being on the Opry, playing on the Grand Ole Opry at 60, that would be kind of cool. But, that's a pretty big, pretty tall order there to try to fill. And, I got 5 days. I don't know if I can do that, really. I'm not sure if I could do that if I had 50 days or 5 years, really. But because that's all up to the, people higher up than me for sure. But I don't, I just don't have anything really. I don't know what to do. Like say the antique malls, it's, it's kind of something I've done a lot. I like thrift stores and all that. But it seems a little bit like, well, I could do that on any day. It'd be nice to do something really big, on my 60th. But I don't have any clue what that would be. I really don't. I mean, like say meeting some celebrity or get my picture with somebody or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But I say it's kind of hard to do that. I don't live in Hollywood. I don't live in Nashville, so it's probably not going to run into any celebrities in my area on the streets or anything for my birthday. But anyway, I'm curious what y'all maybe did for your 60th, if you're already 60, or what you have planned for your 60th, or maybe your 50th, even your 40th. I don't care how old you are. It doesn't matter about that. It's not about the age. It's about what's something big you've done for your birthday, for your big day. You know, when you knew your days were numbered and you were no longer going to be 39, even though you may tell everybody you're 39 again, or 29 again, or 49 again, even, or in this case, 59 again. And you may be older than that. You may be almost 70 or 80, and you're, you know, and you've got some big plans for those birthdays. Share them with me. Let me know, on that. I love your comments, and I know I don't get to all of them as quick as I'd like to, but I do appreciate the comments, and of course I appreciate y'all watching as always. And if you could give us a thumbs up on this, subscribe to us, and turn on those notifications, and you get we'll let you know when we get new videos out here and all that stuff. So anyway, I appreciate y'all, and like I say, let me know what you think, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.